Hello! Today I thought I would share with you 5 tips to be successful on the Starch Solution. Sometimes when we start something and we are full of motivation, we are gung-ho and we see good results, or we can stick to something for, a few days or a week or a couple weeks, and then your motivation kind of peters out. And it's really hard just to have that motivation all the time. And so there have been a few things that I have found that have helped me stay successful without just plain motivation. And I am going to share those with you today. The first tip I'm going to share with you is one that I've actually talked about quite a bit here in the past. And that is eating until you are full. When I came to eating this way, I was so used to restriction, and even on a plant-based diet before this, I was used to eating like way less starches and carbs. And so I always kind of felt hungry, and that led me to binging later on. And so when I started this, and probably for the first year of eating the Starch Solution, I ate until I was uncomfortably full. Like I ate everything on my plate. And that really helped me kind of develop learning how I felt when I was hungry and when I was full. And now when I'm eating, I eat until I'm comfortably full. So there's food left on my plate, and I can really just kind of know my body's like cues and signals. So I really feel like just eating until you are full and you like feel physically full and satiated will really help curb cravings and keep you consistent, because really consistency is the key to success. The second tip I'm going to share with you is one that I feel like I've seen used quite a bit across the board. And I know if you have watched any of my what I eat in a day videos, I kind of like practice what I preach, but it is finding a few meals and just putting those on repeat. So I always have oats for breakfast. Every now and then I'll have like a bowl of fruit or a smoothie, but mainly what I eat every day has been oats. And it just kind of helps me know how I'm going to start the day. I know I'm going to start my day with a good meal, and it kind of just sets me up for success the rest of the day. And even if I have planned to, go out or do like, get takeout or whatever, I know that the beginning of my day, I have started in a good way and I'm like set up. So another thing that I do is a lot of like rice bowls or like a potato meal. And so I kind of buy the exact same thing every week, and I just eat those meals on repeat, and I, switch it up every now and then. I'll have like a, taco night, but mainly I just have a few meals that I put on repeat, and I'll change the sauces, or I'll change, certain like flavors to them, but really I just eat the same thing all the time and I don't get bored of it. And if I do, then I, will switch it up, and then I'm just like right back on it. And that has really helped me because I know exactly what I'm going to the grocery store for. I know exactly what I'm preparing. I have it kind of prepped and ready to go, and that is key. And that brings me to my third tip, which is prep your food. I feel that having things in my fridge that are just ready to go and put together really fast helps me stay on track and helps me be consistent. I get really hangry, and sometimes I don't want to like make decisions about what I'm going to eat. And so I usually buy a lot of fresh veggies at the beginning of the week, chop them up, put them in containers, and put them in my fridge. Or I have a lot of frozen veggies, which is very helpful and really easy to just like warm up when the time has come to eat. And so I just like to have, my starches prepped. So my rice is always done, or quinoa. My potatoes are boiled and ready either to be roasted or just eaten, warmed up. And so that has just really helped me stay consistent. And you can take it a step further and do like a meal prep, where people will put together, their actual like meal in a container. But I like to kind of change like my rice bowl a little bit on a day-to-day basis, or I like to eat different veggies with my potatoes. So I usually just put everything separately and ready to go in the fridge. And then my decision is just like what I'm going to eat with what. And that doesn't really bother me that much, but I can see how if people have so much going on, having something fully prepped and ready to go would be helpful. So really whatever works for you in that aspect, but having something prepped in your kitchen so you are prepared will really help you just stay on track and stay consistent. The fourth tip I'm going to talk about today is keeping your house and your environment optimal for success. And what that means is just keeping things that you will likely binge on or eat that you don't want to out of your environment. And I know this can be really tricky because often you are not the only one living in your house. You have spouses or kids or roommates. And so just one, having a conversation with them, because if there are people that you love, then your health should be important to them as well. And if it's important to you, it's really just, you should really stress that and let them know that you're really trying to regain health or get health, and having that in the house is not helpful for you. I've heard of people separating their, like foods in the fridge, or getting a second fridge, or having people keep things away. I have had my husband, when he comes home with something that I will just completely demolish, I tell him to put it in his office, and hide it from me. And usually if it's out of sight, out of mind, there are those times that I will go hunting, but usually it's gone by then. So, but yeah, just keeping your house kind of like your sanctuary, where you know that the things in there are going to benefit you and help you towards your goals, will really help you stay consistent. And if you want to go out and have something, do it. But just know that when you go home, that area is safe for you and you don't have to worry or stress out about binging on something that you think that you shouldn't or that you don't want to. And my final tip for you today is that every meal or every snack is separate from the one before and the one coming up. So if you have something that is not ideal or that you wish you hadn't had, it doesn't mean that you just start over the next day. It means that you start over at the next time you eat. And it is okay to eat something that is not on plan or that, isn't approved by the Starch Solution. I feel like there is such a bad versus good in the food world, and that, really comes from diet culture. And it's important that we kind of step away from that and we just realize that we are humans that do things on a biological level, and things that smell good or we know that taste good and will give us like a dopamine hit. It is not that you are bad for eating it. Just try to give yourself some grace, and the next time you eat something that makes you feel good and that brings you that much closer to your goal. I hope these tips help. And if you have something that has helped you be successful or stay consistent, or you tried something that I mentioned and it didn't work for you,